G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a grenade APW. That means anti-personnel weapon, if you are wondering. So this is a weapon that is based off the 25mm grenade APW from Fallout New Vegas, with a few key differences. Number one, you can modify it quite a lot. And number two, this thing, instead of having a detachable box magazine like its New Vegas counterpart, this thing has an inbuilt magazine. It'll reload exactly like a Striker 12 shotgun. So you'll have to manually cycle the tube over before reloading each round, which means the reload speed is going to be quite slow, but there's ways you can make that a little bit faster. The 25mm grenade APW in Fallout New Vegas was always an interesting weapon to me because, unlike most of the weapons in that game, it actually didn't have any real-world counterparts, so it exists in this limbo of non-existence, with its only purpose being a stepping stone from your early game thumps and your 40mm grenade launchers to your endgame giant heavy grenade launcher machine guns, which is kind of interesting, but it fills that role pretty well. And I think the only real world examples that I can think of at the top of my head, there's that Barrett XM109 that fires the 25mm grenades, and I think there's that experimental one. Do you remember Battlefield 4? One of the support weapons you can get is this airburst 25mm grenade launcher, that experimental thing. I don't know if that's gone through in real life, but that's the only combat applications I've ever known, at least from the top of my head, that I've seen in other video games using the 25mm grenades. Basically, it's 40mm or nothing. I think the kill range for 25mm grenades is actually like 7 meters or something. It's like, what's that? Maybe 15 feet or something. I don't know the conversions on the top of my head, but that's quite enough killing potential, especially for such a rapid fire thing. So realistically, I think this will be quite as strong as we need it to be. Let's get into the attachments. First of all, you've got the receivers. Now, there's only a couple of receivers here that you really ever want to worry about. Firstly is this hair trigger receiver that'll increase your rate of fire. DPS is the name of the game, so anything that you can increase your rate of fire with, especially on this one, is going to be massive. And the tune receiver all the way down here, if you don't have the gun nut to get this or the materials, then it's either hair trigger or tune receiver. Although you can get slightly better efficiency, like barely any efficiency, but slightly better if you utilize the heavy frame receiver there. But it's either tuned or hair trigger, so we'll definitely do that because, well, doubling this thing's rate of fire as is going to make it an extremely powerful weapon. Now, when change the barrels, you could have a medium barrel, longer barrel, that is just make it more accurate. In VATS, help its damage drop off over a distance. So there's also lighter variants of each. So if you want to make it slightly lighter, if you've got the perks to do that, then that's great. Less in your inventory to worry about, but better for range. Next, we've got the stocks. You have a short stock, full stock, gunslinger stock. Does that have grenades on the side? It doesn't, or maybe it could. There's something in there. There's also recoil compensating, which is interesting for a grenade launch. You wouldn't think you'd have to be totally precise for it. Marksman's, which is better aim with scopes. Interesting. There's also lighter variants of these as well that are in metal. This one looks like a Spaz 12 stock, which I think is pretty awesome, so we'll throw that one on. There's also that one, which appears to be... Is that from a handmade rifle? Looks like it. Next, we've got the grenades, and you'll be using the 25mm grenades as standard, but you can change the flavor of these with this particular attachment point. The ones that you want to look after are the HE grenades, that'll give you more power. There's also incendiary ones, pulse for anti-robot applications. Plasma is going to be your strongest one overall, giving you a little bit of extra energy damage along with that. There's also options for big slug rounds, which hurt like a bitch when you get hit with one, according to this, which I'm not going to argue against that. I'll take its word for it. Also, smoke grenades, which I don't know what combat applications that might have against NPCs. It'll just shoot you through bushes and through obstructions anyway. There's also beanbags, but that's knocking enemies over. And honestly, we want to shoot them and kill them if we're using a weapon like this, but potentially you could use it as like a weapon to switch to if you need something knocked down in a hurry, or if you need to get a little bit of distance between something and yourself so you don't blow yourself up. There's applications to use it there. Timed ones are lame because enemies will just step out of the radius before they go off. Gas grenades are interesting because it gives you poison damage on the target, which only affects human enemies, so potentially less useful, but that pretty much goes over what we're going to get out of this thing. We'll go for HE grenades on this one, and we'll move on. We've got folded iron sights. You can have them folded up like that instead of folded down. There's also glow versions of that. Reflex sights, holographics. There's also ladder holo sights. Oh, that's cool. Quite like that one. And also options for short scopes. So if you want to use this thing more of a range application, then there's that. Unfortunately, there's no high velocity grenades, which might be a better mix for using this thing with the scope. But I think we'll be fine as is. We'll go for a ladder hollow sight on this one. Next up, we've got muzzles. The most powerful, strongest attachment here that I could recommend would probably be the barrel extension, just to extend your range out a little bit further, make you slightly more accurate in VATS over a longer distance. But there's also options for recoil compensation through your muzzle brake or a compensator. The stabilizer will cut down on your range, but make it slightly more accurate. But honestly, you don't have to be pinpoint accurate. It's a grenade launcher. Near enough is usually good enough. There's also options for a spiked muzzle here. Now, a lot of these attachments you'll find will offer you better bash damage, which is kind of interesting for a grenade launcher because, like, bashing is a distance where you kind of don't want to be with a grenade launcher, but it could be good for a backup when you're in these close quarter situations. So either you want to stand back and shoot them with this ranged muzzle device here, or you want to get in nice and close and perhaps use this one for a quick bash damage to do a lot of damage without actually having to blow yourself up. And if you do attach this spiked muzzle on, we'll just skip down the attachments a little bit. There's also an option for a big bayonet on the bottom as well, which normally is for a muzzle attachment, but it's just there. It gives you even better bash. So there's probably lots of combat applications. And again, if I go even further with that, there's also this heavy foregrip, which will give you better bash because, you know, it gives you even more weight to throw around with. And did I see better bash on this thing? No, that's just heavier weight. Although that kind of be interesting if you got a little bit of a bash bonus using this heavy frame receiver there. But let's not do that. We'll go for a much more sensible approach here with the barrel extension. Although I do want to see exactly what we can do with a bashing setup on this thing. Maybe if we get a non-lethal version so I can beanbag people up close and then bash them or set down. That might be actually really funny. But for the foregrips, you got a standard one. You saw that already. Obviously, these look like that so they can support the striker animation sets. This light one, less AP cost, lighter weight on your inventory. This is pretty much where you want to go. This one will give you better hipfire accuracy and recoil, but again, precision, not really this thing's strong point, or it doesn't really have to be. And you can also have a bayonet on this extraneous thing, a carry handle, which will lessen the burden that it is to carry, which is kind of cool. Got a heat shield as well, improves your ADS accuracy and recoil. Again, accuracy, not really that important. Strength charm, more bash damage there. I wonder if it's the same as the bayonet or worse. Who knows? Maybe it's better because it's a gun nut rank 2 thing. Perception and for improved range, that's barely any, so skip over that. Endurance is 5 energy, 5 damage resist, that's nothing. Improved intimidation chance. We're going to shoot them with grenades. I don't think we'll have to worry about whether intimidation will work. Improved critical rate might be okay if you need to get those guaranteed VATS criticals, but it's a grenade launcher, so near enough's good enough. Improved reload speed. That's clearly the best version, the best pick for this particular attachment slot. There's also a luck charm for critical damage, but I think we'll be doing quite enough damage as is on this thing, and that pretty much goes over what this thing can do. We've also got a legendary slot provided by legendary modification. Putting something like 2-shot on this thing would be really funny, but no, let's not do that. Alright, I'm gonna get a couple more of these, maybe spec one out for bash damage, but we'll get started, and that was really cool. That's awesome. They've done a great job with this mod. A quick visit to Claire's confirms this thing is in the shop. This will be injected onto the leveled list. You'll find it in shops and on bosses at level 25, which is pretty damn early if you ask me. So that's nice. We'll grab this one and then we'll see. The first of the uniques we'll find is located right here in the Quincy police station. You gotta go find the lockup section, which is just inside this building behind the terminal. Go in here and you'll go into the Quincy police lockup. Once inside, just go down the stairs. It's not a particularly large cell, and you'll find it just on the end of the table. Excellent. Here's riot control. Critical hits cause target to frenzy. Very good. Looks like we're using the beanbag rounds on this one. Interesting. So a non-lethal approach, but maximum chaos can ensue. I like it. The next unique is located right here in Sentinel side. It's the big pyramid in the middle of the glowing sea. There it is right down there. So if you want to get down here, then you got to be pretty high level. And the easiest way to do this is just to go down these stairs, hit this button, open up that door, and then find this blue door down here tucked in the corner on the southern western side of the joint. And then you'll find Major Tom in the toilet. Oh, it's got the rapid legendary effect and uses rockets. That's munitions rockets. Interesting. Okay, so I've maxed out this thing's possible bash damage. I've got the spiked muzzle brake, heavy foregrip, the stock that increases bash damage, and I've also got the strength charm on the front. You probably can't see it, but I'm gonna bash Tammy. Sorry, hang on. And 15 damage, and if I roll a critical, 109. That's not good. And as you can tell, Tammy's not particularly heavily armored. That's a lot less than you'd be getting out of combat armor, so it looks like the bashing is a no-go for this. Alright, it's time to begin. We're back at Immersive Gunners Plaza, and here is our APW in first person. The bashing animation looks like that. It's not very effective. It takes 3 bashes to ignite the car instead of 1. Anyways, so here's what the trajectory of the grenades is like. As you can tell, pretty slow, but if we fire this thing as fast as we can, it's a pretty constant stream of explosions, and it's not fast enough to chain back to the player either, so I think that's a pretty good balance. And there's the reload animations, bullet counts reloaded happening right now, so we can reload as many times or as many shells as we need, and we can interrupt that reload as well. Very good advanced systems. Here is the plasma grenades. The plasma grenades are on timers. Well, that's no good. Okay, that makes them a little less effective to my mind. Also, the explosions appear to be smaller than just standard hand-thrown plasma grenades. And as those gunners take on that particular little shit of a mosquito, here's the beanbag rounds. They appear to have the same sort of trajectory. I reckon in New Vegas you could make them fire much faster than that. Again, having like high velocity 25 mil grenades is going to be a pretty cool thing to add, should they, you know, want to add that, but who knows. Lastly, we've got sniper status version here. This one, just a standard vanilla game short scope, but it fires a projectile that doesn't have any arc. It's slow, but at least I can point it and it'll hit what I'm pointing it at, which is good news. A little bit faster than snail mail, but you know, what we can do to offset that is just literally spam rockets everywhere. Now, all of these, I've pretty much installed the agility component on so I get a faster reload, because as you can tell, it takes a very long time to reload. But it's not to say you're not getting a good bang for your buck when using this thing. Also, look at that recoil that happens. This is obviously operating off Striker 12 shotgun recoil, so you could argue that it's a little bit exaggerated. Who knows, maybe all of that backblast going directly into the back of the barrel is causing problems and making it kick a little bit more than it should. Anyways, instead of reloading, I'm going to change the ones that I'm using. So it's going to be a pretty predictable weapon with a good enough explosion radius to get multiple enemies at once if they're all clumped together, which is what you want. And for accuracy and VATS, well, it's pretty good. A half chance of hitting that gunner from there probably means we're going to be dealing the damage anyway, thanks to all of that explosive radius. So we'll try to pick out some longer range targets here. 85% accuracy from here, and hang on a moment. We just sit through all this reload and VATS because it's going to be way faster. Look at this accuracy, right? From back there, 80% on the torso, that's all you need. But look at that. Look at that AP per shot. I'm maxing out the amount of shots I can do in VATS. Okay, that's probably a bug, but I'm using half of my AP bar here to getting max shots. That's like way better than Deliverer spec. Deliverers with full VATS enhanced armor to supplement it usually get that sort of amount of VATS shots, but that's crazy. I'd assume that's a little bit of a bug and possibly unintended, because that's really strong, perhaps too strong. In terms of how this is going, I mean, you could argue that I should be getting slightly more damage. Uh-oh. Oh no, it's a grenade launcher fight. They're whiffing all their shots with a grenade launcher. See, lesson number 1, Gunner Brigadier, is use the grenades. Just do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well that could have gone a lot worse, and this is the perfect time to use a critical. Oh, beautiful. I've done the job. They're all just sort of lining up for me today, I think. Nice of them. Anyways, what I could do here is into a little bit of chaos. Let's use our beanbag launcher here. Gonna crit that guy in the face. He gets knocked down. He might get up and start shooting all of his friends. Yep, good distraction. There's utility value in that, but again, if I just critted him in the face with a grenade, he'd be dead and neutralized entirely. But I don't get that. Wait, what? Oh, the distraction is... Wow. Okay, you need to put that down, friend. Let's use the, No! No! It's fine. It's fine. It's A-okay. You're not the guy with the grenade launcher, are you? No, that looks like a plasma gun. Oh, did he run off? I'm going over here now. Full retreat. Have grenades. We'll spam those grenades. We've got a cool radius. I'm sort of panicking now because I've seen the guy with the grenade launcher. Is it you? I bet it's you. This one's slightly less efficient. We'll sit through this reload. Hopefully we get the shot off before he has time to ragdoll us again. Now, according to my calculations, we've reloaded this quite enough. There it is. Okay. Slightly less effective in VATS, as it seems. Anyways, we'll try to get some shots of them. If I can keep an elevated position, it'll be... Get out of here. No. Out. Shoo. Get out of here. There you go. A little bit of bash damage for you. Not that I was going to do much, but keep spamming the grenades. I gotta say, having the fuse on the plasma grenades really limits the utility factor there. Alright. We need more chaos. Look at that. 90% shot from back here. That's nuts. That's because I'm using the rocket rounds, of course. Oh, I thought I'd picked out the riot control one. Alright, I'll be with you in a moment, alright? Oh, I stopped the reload because I switched to third person? Oh, I see what's happening here. I think it defaults to the standard 12-round reload. Or the... Okay, I'm breaking the reload mods. Scripting sucks, bros. The creation engine... Who knows? Alright, let's just, let's go back to old reliable. I keep breaking the reload. Not the mod's fault, I think it's mine. If I'm more patient, then it wouldn't break, you understand. Anyways, we'll fast track our way getting up here. You're definitely dead. So that had the corner of my eye. Concerning. See, these projectiles, they travel so slow that some of these, you could arc them around, like, corners. I mean, shallow corners. Like, you could arc it around maybe under there from a pretty safe position here, you know? So there's a little bit of utility in that, even if you are not getting the most range out of this thing that you'd ever see. But I think there's merit to having it like that. Anyways, let's get all these guys to fight each other for our amusement. I don't know, having the instant knockdown on these guys, I think is kind of... Is it silly? Who knows? But I'm going to use this guy's face to get crits. This one has the intelligence thing as a reminder. And just like that... Oh. Hey, look, he's friendly. Think I kill him? There he goes. Well, whilst you're sorting out your differences in a calm and fashionably courteous manner, I'm gonna go in here. I think we should have full dudes in here, so... Oh. Oh, really? Okay. I was going for one of those cliched slow motion door breaches. I haven't used the VATs, the slow motion VAFs yet, but for some reason, I think the frenzy just wore off there, and they sorted it out rather gentlemanly, I might add. But luckily, or unluckily for them, I'm still here with grenades. Okay, for some reason, you go really fast in slow motion. How fast? Look how far I can jump. I'm gonna die if I go even further. So let's not do that. I can outrun the grenades? Oh, that's awesome. I guess we can get a good look at the grenades without going into free cam. Let them go. Ooh, bad place to stand. I've activated Nerd Rage. That's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge over in this direction at the speed of sound, and then activate Nerd Rage for real. Wow, wrecked. Okay, probably have wasted every single one of those grenades. What I will do though, oh no, they actually all hit. Okay, that worked. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. Finish with the reloads. Let's put some rockets in this guy. I don't think I actually get that much extra damage from the criticals, but I suppose they're nice to have. And if I need to quickly get away... Okay, I should stop exploiting that, but that's seriously a weird quirk, and I think that might just be a problem with the animation sets that has caused for reasons that I don't quite know. But regardless of that, we're going to rapid fire this thing like you wouldn't believe here. Now that is a strike, that is like, do you remember Battlefront 2, CIS strike bomber, where it just drops all its bombs really, really fast? That's precisely like that, you understand. So we'll send even more grenades his way. He's got himself mutated at this point. Let's go over to... Actually, let's knock this guy down. Eat this. And loot him cartwheeling. Beautiful. Now, I think another flavor missing for this thing would be... Ooh, boy. It might be the ability to have, like, little micro nuke tip versions. I feel like that'd be a cool thing to do. Anyways, I don't think any of these are actually going to hit, but if they do, great. No. Technically, I didn't heal before this encounter, so I'm allowed a stim pack, right? Right? No. Okay. We'll just shoot this guy in the face multiple times. Wait a minute. Wow, that ghoul just got smashed in the head. Alright. We'll go for a full VATS round on his face. At this range, 900 damage per shot. That's pretty good. So there's like a ballistic hit of the grenades and then the explosions. I don't know how exactly the damage is listed and how it works on the weapon cards compared to what you actually get. And ooh, have I got effectively infinite ammo now? What's going on here? Okay. Unlike a lot of the DAC mods that I've experienced lately, this one, a little bit broken. Little bit. If I put this away and bring it back out. Okay. Well, you know what? No reason to stop this broken train from going. We'll put it back on the rails somehow. I think the time has come to exact my terrible vengeance on those who have transgressed. And you know what? This ghoul that I'm encountering here, he's one of them, but the other one is going to be the mosquito just down the road. But first of all, this is the one that I want to kill first. Now, we've demonstrated this thing can get sniper knockdowns with this particular receiver, so if we can get him to flick up into space again, that's going to be fine. Although he's floating in the ocean there. The ocean of piss, as it were. So we might be able to get away with this after a quick reload and as soon as he floats to shore. Okay, now that he's up and about, we might be getting another flick across to the space. There we go. In the water you go. And whilst he's knocked down like that, and just for good measure, mate, I'll give you one of these. None of your business. Get out of here. Nah, get down. We're gonna bring out our plasma grenades and shower him with those things, and that'll do a good amount of damage. So, ooh, the stagger there is also pretty timely. So that's a pretty good combo there for killing stuff fairly simply, is just stagger them or knock them down with the beanbags and then hit them with something else. I don't know, guaranteed knockdowns. I mean, it's pretty easy to hit them in close range anyway. You've got a pretty good rate of fire, and the magazine is obviously quite large, and the projectile is slow, so obviously less reliable at range, but I can't help but feel that's just a little bit too good sometimes, you know? Anyways, we'll get some of our health back by... See, all of this radioactive piss, we can absorb it into the energy shields, and it'll bring up the thing's strength again, because, you know, all of this radiation energy that's going into nothing, we may as well use it. Just gonna make sure we have a shower afterwards, of course. Most of our health is back at this point, and now the time has come to shoot this guy. I'd love to have some extra criticals, but we'll be fine. I'm thinking utilizing this version, a scoped version with the grenades, I'll be able to get all of those shots in pretty simple like, and now the time... Ooh, nice dodge there, friend, but as you can tell, I can knock you down. So everyone on the floor, please. On the ground, right now. They're so bloody efficient as well. Now these are only small fish, to be honest. The big one over there, here's the main problem. We'll have one critical. That's pretty good. And as soon as he gets any funny ideas about charging me... Nope. Ooh, look at him go. Actually, let's keep that momentum up, shall we? Can we launch this guy to the heavens? Not with that shot, clumsy. Let me just... Oh, I broke it again. We're doing infinite ammo again. Just when I interrupt the VATS reload, I think. That seems to do the job. Add a critical to the mix. Well, I'm not about to look a gift knockdown in the mouth. Nope. You know what? After all this grief this prick's caused me, it is kind of cathartic to just send him flying around, I must say. Anyways, have some grenades. Oh, he is out of here. And concentrated fire will make sure that all of these hit. All of them hit, right? Okay, I've unbroken this one. That's great. But I did lose the current bat streak that I had. He's still there, though. I suppose we'll just go for the highest probability thing and just let concentrated fire do the work. So torso is fine. Also, weird intense camera shaking. Sort of subtle, but I wonder if that's because I'm targeting a flying thing, or it's supposed to indicate that, hey, this guy's dangerous. To come to think of it, does the other monsters have that skull there? I haven't ever had it confirmed, but I don't know whether having that skull for... Wow, that is they hit a home run there. I don't know if the skulls indicate that enemies have damage reduction to your attacks. And where do you think you're going, mate? No. I think what I'll do here is I'll get him with one more knockdown. Make sure this counts. Gotta lead that target. You'd expect it to be a little bit easier to hit a giant mosquito flying at you, but, you know, he's got that XCOM defense bonus. Cop this! Oh, yeah, that'll do the job. Evade this! Hang on, that's not the quote. It's, whenever you finish reloading, dodge this. Didn't. Alright. 5, 6. I think he's starting to recover from his little knockdown there, but too late, friend. Maybe? No, he recovered quite well there. Okay, I think it's time to reload this thing before I get into too much trouble. Sit down. Good. Good boy. No. No, bad. Eat nerd rage. Oh, why don't I do that before? Alright, job's almost finished. It's probably be one of the most awkward fights I've ever done. Okay, job's done, and bloody hell. That was probably needlessly difficult and probably made it a lot harder than it actually had to be in the end there, but I think you get the idea. So that was a 25mm grenade APW, and I think in terms of the usual quality of DAX stuff and that mod team they're in, I think there's a little bit more rough around the edges. There's room to grow here. There's a lot that can be refined, and, well, I've already explained most of it. The ludicrously low AP costs and, I don't know, some of the other physics stuff, that might not be as easy to look at, but yeah, there's ways this thing can be improved, but overall, it's a pretty cool grenade launcher mod. Plenty of overpowered fun to have if you are so inclined to try this out for yourselves. And if you do, check out the link in the description. I'll be leaving a link down there to this weapon. Also, it works with classic holstered weapons perfectly, I might add, with very little clipping. So, isn't that nice? And on that, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.